just not very good.
Yeah. Have you ever had
what about the blue moon with the orange?
Gross.
That was incomprehensible.
Framboise is awesome. Can't say you don't like framboise.
Sounds Belgian.
Yeah.
Only good machine guns come from Belgium.
Good beer.
They probably have good cheese too, I imagine.
Yeah.
No, good chocolate. Best cheese is from France.
Oh, right.
I think Wisconsin has pretty good cheese.
I hear excellent things about Wisconsin cheese.
Usually in curd form.
Yes, cheese curds are the best.
I like that aged cheddar when he gets those little crystals in it. Oh, fuck me.
I like cheese curds because they squeak on your teeth for some reason. I don't know why that happens, but it's awesome.
It's like a chew toy for fat guys, huh?
I
shouldn't say that because I that. I'm just saying.
Don't come over my house with your brand new 5-gallon bucket of cheese curds and then leave me alone with them.
All right. Welcome to Gunnit Live.
Oh shit, that was public.
Yeah, you always
we've been live for a while.
Now everyone knows my secret shame.
What? Now they know it.
Yeah.
Why did I ever agree to show up here?
Bizons, bump stocks, and Battlestar Galactica.
You showed up here for a rousing technical discussion where everybody present envies the shit out of you.
Check your toasters at the door. Having rare things is neat.
Yeah,
absolutely. See, in life, there are the haves and the have-nots.
Is it true that you're assigned a manufacturing
I really don't want to take out every single part for this thing, so just let me know what y'all want to see, and I'll take it out really quick. Just so
I want to know if it's true you signed a manufacturing contract with HMG.
They wish.
So while I can't disclose information about who I'm working with to produce these, I can disclose that it is not HMG, PSA, Century, thank fuck, and
Taurus. Taurus is out.
Taurus, yeah, no, not Taurus. They're domestic, and they've got great quality control, but it's no. I'm not about to put out a poorly head-spaced and cast clone of a.
Oh man. IO must be so disappointed.
This is the American business way. You're not going to make any money that way building a quality product.
Well, I'm just trying to take the Lago Arms route where I make a pistol that's pretty unique and then price it at $5,000.
Actually, the American way is actually to make a quality product for a couple of decades and then sell your company to somebody who will run the good name of your company into the dirt while they rake in bonuses and collapse the fuck out of it.
Looking at you, Remington.
Or Stanley. Or
Remington.
Any major corporation.
Yeah.
Winchester, Browning.
Starrett.
Yeah.
Starrett. Wait a minute. Hang on.
I think Starrett's gone.
Really?
Tits up.
They still make fancy shit though. Oh, okay. Well,
I feel though if we're going to talk about Russian weaponry, I need to have something.
There'll always be old Starrett.
Yes. At garage sales for like nothing.
Nobody ever wears out micrometers
because they fucking know what. Nobody knows what it is. You can buy a whole fucking set of them for like $20.
Problem is you have to go to garage sales. I usually see more useless shit in them than. I guess you got to scout them out and find like the really old guys that had like a machine shed behind their house.
But that's why you get
loading like kids' clothes and couches.
That's why you get an old neighbor, man. You send him out.
Yeah.
You go, hey, if you see this, call me.
I am that guy. I just don't fucking do it.
Look, at least in my case, I figured that if you're gonna.
Oh shit! He's level 3'd out of his mind.
Straight out of Pochinki.
I swear to God, I'm waiting for him to say Illudium X96 space modulator. What is it?
What do you mean? What is it? If you can't say it, you shouldn't be making a joke about
No, but it's straight up Marvin the Martian is what I'm saying.
No,
it's Illuvian. Oh. No. You screwed me up because you did it wrong. Illudium Q36 explosive space modulator.
Exactly.
Something like that. No,
yeah.
I helped a friend of mine who now works for some Russian ministry with his chemistry capstone. So he sent me a K63, which is fantastic.
That's like $1,000 helmet, isn't it?
It's more than that,
Yep.
I think.
Yeah.
Probably fell off the back of a train.
What's the faceplate made out of? Titanium or?
It's the entire helmet's got a titanium shell and an aramid inlay.
Wow, nice.
Nice. He says
it's heavy as hell, but
you just wear that to floss on people around town.
They come from my bump stocks.
Take that to the bank. Yeah. Wear that when you go cash your check.
And bring a duffel bag in with you. I'm here to make a
Just
deposit.
walk up, everybody's nervous as hell in the lobby. You see me walk in with that in the duffel bag. It's like, I need to cash this check.
Can you cash this check for $2.99?
Sir, do you have an account with us?
Or worse, about $350.
Oh,
yeah.
There you go.
Put the lotion in the basket.
I think they use the box as the thing, so you could put $350 in the box and then put about $350, and I think it would get cashed. Okay, I should try that.
So are these Bizons magazines? Are they going to be 3D or metal when they're done?
Are they going to be 3D?
I mean, printed plastic. No, they're just going to be 2D.
It's actually a picture of it.
He's Russian. They never got to the 3D.
The auction description specifically said it was a picture of a Bizon magazine.
Now they'll probably actually wind up being both. We're thinking about starting off with 6061 aluminum, which I think these are D6T aluminum, which is it's similar to 6061. They're hard, but they're not immune to any type of gouging or anything like that. But it seems like it'd be economical. We're obviously not going to make steel magazines because if y'all have seen any of the pictures that I've posted, this thing taken apart, there's a shit ton of internals that take up a good amount of space, and everything. If everything was steel, it'd weigh almost as much as the entire rifle.
Huh.
What were the original ones?
You're kind of soft there.
Original ones?
One more time.
What were the originals made out of?
So this is an original. This is an original aluminum 9x19. So it is unicorn unobtainium.
Wow.
They started with the aluminum ones, and then they had kind of a. I don't really know how to explain it, but they had kind of a interim version that had the internals of the polymers, but were made out of aluminum, and then they moved on to the polymer, which had a different auger setup. So on the original aluminum ones, the helicoil or the elevator was on the housing. It was attached here, so you had that helicoil that moved all the way around the housing.
Outside.
And then on the inside, there was this little kind of spline tube that went through, and that's what would rotate the rounds up the elevator. This one is an interim magazine where there's actually a sheath that has splines on the inside, and the elevator, the helicoil, is the middlemost piece. So this rotates. This is attached to that elevator, and it moves around. It moves around in a circular motion, and then the splines help guide it up the elevator.
It's like an Archimedes screw of bullets.
Yeah. Exactly.
Yeah.
And actually, when I was doing my research on these and trying to find some information on them, I talked to Calico, and they actually sued Izmash, I think, when they were making these, because they pretty blatantly stole the original design off of the Calico helical magazines. And Calico actually still has the IP for helical magazines, but they said they were open to a licensing agreement or potentially manufacturing them for us. So we just got to figure it out down the road.
That'd be cool.
Yeah, but that lawsuit was never settled, and by the time it was going to reach the courts, the Soviet Union dissolved, and these turned into the Vityaz.
I mean, what success would they have had suing a company in Russia? I would imagine it'd be like nil.
Yeah, it'd probably be like trying to sue for patent infringement in China, honestly.
Yeah.
Which is great, because I was looking at the patents for helical magazines, and in I think 2016, some random Chinese guy tried to put a patent on it. Which, not sorry, but no.
Yeah.
So, what about the gun that these attached to?
Oh, the actual gun itself. So I have some of the parts here. I'll yank them out. The gun itself has about just short of a 9-inch barrel. The plan for that is to essentially just machine them from blanks and nitride them just for longevity. They'll be concentric, which is good, and they'll also be threaded in 14x1 left hand. So all of your AK muzzle brakes that can pass a 9mm projectile, which there's a good amount of them, are compatible. Dead Air is working on a 9mm Wolverine. So if you want to look like the original suppressed Bizons, you can do that. And there are 3-lug adapters for 14x1 left hand as well. Handguard is not quite as securely attached as I want it to be. So what happens is on the trunnion, which I actually have right here, we yank that out. I probably should have had this ready to go beforehand.
We're okay.
We're like NPR. We have a sort of slower pace, you know.
Yeah.
Sounds good to me. So here's the trunnion, which it's essentially the front trunnion of an AK-74 that's been cut down a little bit. It has its own feed ramp. You can see right there, attached with the top of the rear sight base. So it's all one unit. And there's this little notch that you can see in the front here. There's a notch on the handguard.
Oh, I see.
Here. So that just slides into place there. If I can actually get it to go. Yep.
That's cool. Your rear sight's automatically straight.
Sorry?
Your rear sight's automatically straight.
Pretty much. Well, the rear sight just sits in like a standard AKM one right there.
Yeah. No, I mean, but if the base is integral to the trunnion, you can't get the thing crooked.
Yeah, that's true. So again, maybe another reason why I'm excluding Century from this, but
you may have century-proofed it though.
Exactly.
Hey, so I looked up Calico's patent. It was issued in '94, and the patent term limits are 20 years.
20
now,
years.
So you may not have a problem with the patent.
I think that they renewed it, if I'm not mistaken. It's under a different patent, I think.
Okay.
So the front part of this handguard, actually, there's a tab here that's riveted in, which I'll try to get it so that y'all can see.
Yeah.
This rotates out of the way so that when you put it down onto the front sight post here, which it's pretty much just like an AKM, it has holes for detent for your muzzle device. One thing it does have that the AKMs don't is a sling loop right there.
Gotcha.
You kind of just take this and fold it down onto the front sight. It's got these two tabs that keep it stable. And then you rotate this into that little slot that's on the back there.
So is it rattle? Is that why you're not happy with it, or?
Oh no, it doesn't rattle at all, especially if you get your tolerances right. There's nothing there.
Okay.
Especially
you said you weren't too happy about how secure it was, though.
Well, I'd like it for it to be more secure because my plan is to essentially exchange these vent holes for M-LOK compatible slots. It'll keep the look, but it'll add some modularity to it at the same time.
Or you can keep it like that and make proprietary adapters that you charge $25 fucking for.
That's the American way.
Yeah, let me go with a system like PCAPs and piss a lot of people off. For those of you that don't know, PCAPs is the attachment method that H&K used for the XM8. It was essentially these two rotating circular points that would rotate into a slot and lock in place.
That sounds like an IKEA barrel lock.
Pretty much.
They probably got the idea assembling a coffee table.
But it's been a pretty good project so far. I've got almost everything modeled and good to go.
So you've got some people on this that like to spend money ahead of time. When can we pre-order?
So everybody's been asking me when they can pre-order. I'm not accepting pre-orders until production's certain.
Hear that?
Well, that's fucking goofy. Why would you do that? Then we can't sit here and bitch for 2 years about how long it's taking.
Yeah, strike while the iron's hot.
Well, look, there have been a lot of people who have taken pre-orders and have just, excuse my French, but fucked the entire community over. Jeremiah Cohn was one of them out of Arizona who was making a Vityaz clone at one point with an interchangeable magwell. I think he took something like $72,000 to $78,000 people's money. He was charging, I think, $1,600 to $1,700 for each one in pre-orders. Put up a picture of a modified like Yugo NPAP, which was nothing like what he had advertised, and then just went dark. And apparently, he's in like England or something. So he took a ridiculous amount of money from people who are now left in the dirt without anything. You got Kilo Guns apparently, who is taking people's parts kits
and building posties.
Yeah, exactly. It's just one big cluster. But I essentially just want to run a tight operation and an ethical one as well. Plus, the company that I'm working with right now is essentially going to be able to foot everything. I'm just coming up with the ideas, the models, and the engineering behind this. Now,
that's awesome.
You get a percentage of sales?
We haven't really agreed upon that yet, but I don't want too much.
Too far down the line.
Well, this is a hobby for me, so if anything, I'd probably go max about 2 or 3% of gross profit.
Yeah.
Which is small, but again, that's going to factor into how much it costs for the end user, and I want to make it as affordable for people as I can, because it's a lot of people have fond memories of playing stuff like Battlefield 2 or something like that with the Bizon, and no one's ever really gotten to shoot or handle one outside of Lyndon, who works for M13 Industries, who takes trips to Russia, it seems like, every weekend. But it's a cool platform, and I just want to make it widely available with both the helical mags and some peripherals that I'll eventually be putting some more time and effort into.
So it's built out as a pistol, right? Yeah,
the plan is to offer it as just a pistol. There's really no point in building it into a rifle. You're adding almost 10 inches of a fake can, which is going to just look goofy as hell. And with the fact that with the braces that we have on the market now, I mean, it's not really a big deal to have a pistol.
Yeah, that's very true.
Oh, I completely forgot this. Here's the hinge or the collar that sits on the barrel that the magazine actually locks into. So this just comes straight up, locks onto this hinge, and then you bring it up into the rear. It locks in the rear just like a standard AK mag. There's about 60 to 70% parts and compatibility with a AK-74 round. So it'll use the same rear trunnion. It uses almost the same receiver. All your AK trigger groups work in it. One thing that I need to test and figure out, though, is to make sure that there are no out-of-battery firing or out-of-battery what the hell am I the term I'm looking for?
Detonation.
Out-of-battery firing without a tail, because the bolt actually has 2 tails on either side, but unlike an AK bolt carrier, there's no tail right above the firing pin, which in semi-automatic AKs, it prevents out-of-battery firing if the hammer's riding the bolt home. And I just need to make sure that that's not going to be a factor with these.
Well, these are going to be what caliber?
9x19 initially. I'm going to be working with somebody to do 9x18 conversion kits with polymer magazines in the future. I also want to look at 7.62 by 25 Tokarev and maybe some other oddball cartridges, but those may or may not be feasible.
All the idiots gonna be like 20 or Dylan, 25 Dylan.
9 by 39, not possible.
Look, 10mm auto.
Yeah.
9 by 39 is too long, right?
It's a bit too long. Plus, I'm going to leave that to Slaga manufacturing. He's the guy that's working on those VSS and ASVAL clones.
Gotcha.
He's a pretty cool dude. I got him hooked up with a couple of parts that he needed as well.
Man, if you put 9 by 39 in a helical North Korean style magazine, that would be so goddamn heavy. Like 15 pounds of ammo in the fucking magazine.
There's that picture of that North Korean guard with his AK looking at the cameraman like he's crazy. That's about what I'm thinking when you said that.
Yeah, well, they hire him to look like they're crazy. Well, they force them to. Anyway, whatever. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. But do you guys have any other questions about the project or the progress, peripherals, accessories?
Where, like the bolt and the barrel, where'd you source those? Are those from like just parts kits too, or?
You said the barrel you're turning yourself, right?
Yeah, so I had the stubs. I had the front and the rear stub, which helped out a lot. And all I really had to do was take the handguard and the trunnion, measure the trunnion through the handguard to the front of the front sight post, and there's my length, right? All of my dimensions are based on this parts kit. And then from the front sight forward, I just took specs off of a 14x1 left-hand threaded barrel stud that I had from for this. And the guy that I'm using for most of my machine work, Thomas Peacock, he's a professor of gunsmithing out here at Colorado School of Trades. He's been immensely helpful in essentially figuring out what the best way to cut those threads are for, because so the 14x1 left-hand threads on most rifles and most muzzle devices are going to vary just because they're sloppily cut. We've got it down to a science essentially of what we need to do for our max and our min, so that the majority of muzzle devices out there will work, whether they're com block or US made.
How about the heat treat on your trunnion? What are you doing to?
It's gonna be through hardened. It's not gonna be a garage job like Spivey Arms, but so essentially it's got to be, I think it's around 48 to 50 Rockwell hardness, if I'm not mistaken. I need to check my notes. I know the bolt needs to be right around 42, so it has to be harder than that.
So you're gonna get the AK Union seal of approval?
Well, that's what I'm aiming for.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah, it's not so much as aiming for the approval as it is providing a quality product that will exceed or meet those testing standards.
Are these direct blowback? They're not piston, are they?
They're direct blowback. It looks like they're piston. A lot of people
you need the extra weight on there for.
Yeah, you could have the weight either up front in where the piston would go, or you can have it in the bolt carrier. But because it's there and the Soviets already had the castings for the 74M bolt carriers, they just went with those. It's not broken. It's just going to be empty space because there's no way for a piston to fit through that hole right there in the front.
No,
it's way too small.
So those like the same bolts that you'd put in like the Pac 9s or the.
They're similar, but not quite the same. They're a little bit shorter than standard AK bolts. I think that the Pac 9 and the NAK 9 use a barrel that's recessed farther into the rear of the trunnion.
Yeah, I've got a Pac 9 behind me, but
yeah, if you want to yank the bolt out,
hold on,
I can tell you immediately. Look at that! Everybody's got their wow.
I say Pest has one too. He might have his closer.
It's in his lap right there.
It's in my lap.
He was prepared.
Not quite. I couldn't find it at first.
That's why you shadow them on the wall. That way you know exactly where they go.
Mine's covered with dust. The barrel actually is flush with the rear of the trunnion.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, you have that huge weight on the front all up here.
Yeah. Exactly.
Yeah.
So that actually looks like it's about the length of a standard AK bolt carrier, honestly. So you see where you have that little step at the rear on the bottom half? That's about the length of a Vityaz and a Bizons bolt carrier.
Yeah, and that's just a solid piece of metal there too. So
exactly.
Yeah.
If you have the forgings for them, why change it?
Yeah.
Why make it more expensive to manufacture?
Getting that bitch in there's a pain in the ass.
We're eventually I think what we're gonna wind up doing is either seeing if Choppa can provide some OG top covers for us, because they're pretty similar. I don't have one with me because it's at the company that's making the receivers for us. But there's a little lip at the front of the ejection port that folds over to the receiver. Yeah, almost exactly.
Like that.
Yep. It cuts off about right before where that rib is, though. That's about the length of the.
On that side.
Yep.
Right there.
But they look almost exactly the same. If we want to go with original style top covers, we'll contact them to figure out what's going on. But we're really looking at shipping with a TWS dogleg style rail on top. It'll also come with a shortened dovetail mount, which is compatible with pretty much every AK side mount and optic out there.
Are you gonna have like straight up purist options though? Because there are probably gonna be some people that want like this no frills, exactly how it used to be.
Yeah, absolutely. It'll probably be different materials, honestly, just to keep weight down. Mainly with the handguard, that's going to be made out of aluminum, whereas it's steel with the originals. But
how much did the total package weigh in the original?
I wouldn't be able to tell you.
Oh,
I can look it up.
Yeah. Google.
This is somewhat unsatisfying. There's no unanswered questions. You appear to have actually thought of everything. You seem like you got your shit together.
How the hell are we supposed to spit roast you?
I can't make fun of you here. What the hell?
Like I said, for me, this is out of passion for my hobby, which is rare guns. I mean, I'm sure that some of y'all have seen my AK-5 build that I did a long time back.
Yeah, that was pretty cool.
Which there is a pretty funny story behind that. Apparently, Sweden was missing an AK-5C. They thought they stole it. And so I had a VHS agent contact me to try and figure out if I had sourced stolen parts from somewhere. And I essentially said, no, I got pretty much all of these from Robert RTG Parts because he had a bunch in stock at the time. And I sent them all my receipts. And he's like, okay, that's fine. And I was like, well, there was a German guy, a gun broker with AK-5C parts. And I sent them the link to – they were expired at that point to some of those, but I mean, he's like 2 or 3 years too late, apparently. Yeah. That thing is gone. All right, so it looks like it weighs about 4.63 pounds, but I would guess that that's unloaded. You're talking about 53 rounds of 9x19 or 64 rounds of 9x18.
That's got to be like 1.5 pounds right there.
That's nice.
Yeah. So not bad when you compare it to something like an MP5.
Yeah, it's not uncommon at all for blowback subguns to be 8-9 pounds.
Yeah.
Well, that'd be perfect in a drop leg holster on the other side with the deagle on the one side and that on the other.
Should have bounce them out.
Yeah, which one do you go left-handed with though?
That's the question.
Well,
it depends on which hand you jerk off with, because that's be the one to be stronger, right?
I think that the answer is pretty simple, honestly. You carry one for your right on your right leg for your right hand, and one on your left leg for your left.
There you go.
That's why you had the sling mounts on the front, so you can brace out and just go to town, right?
Nice.
106 rounds of fuck you.
You're gonna learn a lesson from Rosie and the Stranger.
But I tried to do my homework on this. Like I was saying, this is something that's born out of my hobby and the community, and it's something I want to provide to the community for them to be able to enjoy and use and be able to afford, probably most importantly. But I also want to make something that's quality and that has a lot of thought put into it as a kind of a love letter from me to everybody that's fostered my interest in GATs. So yeah,
that's cool.
You should reassess the patent thing because their latest patent that Calico got was 1998 October. So
Okay.
They might have been willing to work with you because it was just about to expire.
Probably. I'll take a look, then. I appreciate you.
They might have gotten another one under a different name or because they've changed or switched names. I don't know. Anyway,
Maybe. I don't understand really. Do they make any other products other than those Calico M900s and all
I don't
that?
know if they even make those anymore, do they?
They still exist in some form, which means they may have changed, like doing business as, or
or they have a defunct LLC with just nothing going for it at the time, just besides patent protection.
Because I mean, if they're not making anything now, I mean, I don't understand how they would still be in business. Is my question. But
yeah,
I think they still exist for sure.
Especially if they offered to actually make your mags for you. I'm sure they probably have production facilities somewhere.
Yeah.
So do you have a rough ballpark of what you think you're going to run?
Price wise?
Yeah.
Oof. See, probably the most expensive thing to make are the magazines, and what I'm thinking
until you get that hammered out, you probably won't know.
I want to say, and this is optimistic, is that it'd be under about 1,500, honestly, for the entire package.
I want to say you shouldn't try to answer that question right now.
Yeah.
You have no idea how much it's going to cost.
Exactly. You put me in
that seems a little low. But
as your attorney, I advise you not to answer that question.
Yeah, there you go. I don't know. Honestly, that's my final answer. I don't know what it would be. It's not going to be. It's definitely not going to be in the 500 or 600 like the PSAs and the Choppas. But there's more quality going into it, so it'll be more than that. But it's not. I don't want to say that it'll be like FN Scar 17 territory.
Yeah. But you're also people because exclusivity alone. I mean, for one-off something like that. I mean, even if it comes into production, wider, if it ever gets that point, you have to get in on the ground floor and then pay for it multiple times with expansion kits and stuff like that.
Yeah, well, that's the thing. Is if you don't want the magazine, I'm working on an adapter for Scorpion mags. Maybe Vityaz magazines if Kalashnikov USA gets off their ass and releases the KR9s. But that will keep the cost down because that's just going to be a single milled aluminum piece that just has a mag button in it. So if you want, if you want to 3D print a wall hanger magazine for it, be my guest, go for it. But you'll still be able to shoot it and use it with something a little bit more budget friendly.
That sounds remarkably well thought out.
That was pretty much the plan going through it.
This is literally the worst interview ever.
I've never seen this before.
This is best. This is great.
Okay, here's the interview. First question. Start talking.
Wow us with your expertise, which was exactly what we got.
The point where my voice starts cracking and I panic and pull out my inhaler.
We've only got 16 people watching at the moment, so it's not like there's a huge audience to disappoint.
16, that's pretty good numbers.
Yeah.
Got to pump those numbers up. Those are rookie numbers.
Yeah. The episodes get about like 200-300 views, maybe 400 on some of the other ones, but yeah.
I guess I'm just not that popular.
I think people are just tired of us.
Yeah. We ain't ever gonna have anybody else on.
Well, sometimes when we do, then they turn out to be weirdos.
We did. Where the fuck were you?
We're gonna have Mac on pretty soon from HMG.
Yeah.
Right.
Big update coming Friday.
I went and looked. They haven't said shit on Facebook since October. They haven't
October 12th.
Instagram since August. And I don't think I've seen anything from them on Twitter since.
Well, October. Did you see my my theory?
Your fan fiction?
I posted it on their Facebook page.
Did you really?
Yeah. I should have tagged you in it. I didn't even think about
hilarious. That. I love it.
Good
I'm gonna have to go look it up now and fucking.
I actually checked it earlier today, and there was nothing substantive of discussion after that.
So it looks like I might actually get my GM6 links. That guy went dark on me for a couple weeks, and then did weird stuff. But I think I'm sending him I sent him a check, so who knows?
Weird butt things.
Yeah, it's just sketchy gun seller things, but we'll see.
I have a soft spot in my heart for reciprocating barrel firearms.
Yeah, long recoil is where it's at. Everybody knows that.
Mm-hmm.
See, I already forgot what it was again, but now I remember.
Hey, Pest, do you think that Russian Elcan will hold up okay on that gun?
Dude, I shot that at Big Sandy, and I'm not happy. It was, I think the battery turret's loose. It was the reticle was cutting in and out.
Really?
Yeah. So it might be I bought a kit. Anyway.
We bought a kit.
Right. Well, yeah. So I haven't, of course, done anything about it yet, but I figure I can probably tighten whatever's loose and get shit working. But yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, but trying to figure out what optic to put on that Lynx. I need something big that'll take up some space, and I was thinking of the old 4X Elcans. And then I remembered I got the Russian Elcan, and it's big and bulky looking. So,
but
and the gun's Eastern European, so might as well throw it on there.
Yeah. I've handled a good number of those Russian optics, including the 1P87, that Merlin EOTech knockoff, and they're made for the purpose of being easy to dole out, easy to use, but for a lot of the military ones, the quality's not there. The one that I was impressed with was the OKP-77, and that's manufactured as a hunting site.
Mm-hmm. I have a PV-01. Is that right? Something like that.
A PK-01?
PK-01, I think. It's on an AK-74. I love that optic.
Those are pretty good. The earlier comm block optics are really good. The more modern ones, not so much. The two that have really impressed me were the OKP-77 and the PKAS, honestly.
Is there OKP-44? Is that the one with the glass? Oh, somebody on Discord had one that was pretty cool. It's like their version of the red dot, but
is that what would you say it was called?
Like OKP-44, maybe? Maybe it was this. Yeah, no.
It might have been the 77. Is that the one where it has kind of the curved
glass?
Yeah. Just a glass sheet?
Yeah.
OKP-7 or OKP-77.
Yeah, that's probably it. Yeah, because the curved metal doesn't go all the way around; it just stops right before it gets back to the.
And it's not even attached to the glass, really.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was a good one. The 1P63 Obzor is a really cool one too.
Those names just really roll off the tongue and stick in the head.
Ah, no shit. Obzor.
Those marketing geniuses, those Russians.
Yeah, well, the clone's probably not going to be called the Bizon, but we'll find something similar. We'll call it like the Tatanka or something.
I thought maybe we were going to call it the Paisan.
The white buffalo.
Paisan.
You should change the pronunciation to make it more American, just to piss everybody off. It's the bison.
Yeah, there you
go. Pronounce it bison, like pizza.
There was I posted it up a while ago. There was like some Russian guy wrote an article on the project, and like all of the comments are ripping me apart as like stealing ideas, and I'm like, the guy's dead. Get over it.
Just because you guys aren't making any more doesn't mean we can't.
Stealing ideas.
You guys got the Vityaz. I mean, go for it. Y'all, you're the ones that left the design in the dirt, pretty much.
I think of anybody, if a Russian accuses somebody of stealing ideas, like, okay, I know this is an ignorant thing to say, but all your guns look like fucking AKs. All
right, so. What stealing ideas means is actually stealing Germans. And we did the same thing. We just got space ones and they got gun ones. That's all.
Yeah. I think that there's a case to be had for the Sturmgewehr.
Yeah. Tilting bolt, though. Different.
Yeah, I like flappers.
I think the 45 was more like that. Yeah, flapper locked. Yeah.
PKM's flapper locked, isn't it?
Yeah. Well, that fucking pistol that they what the hell was that? The silencer coat one. That's flapper locked.
Oh yeah, the Max 9.
I haven't seen that in a while.
Blowback.
That doesn't seem like anybody's been posting very much.
Well, they got fucked by the sheriff.
Am I wrong about the PKM?
Yeah. I guess speaking of axe, we could talk about bump stock shit, but I mean.
Oh no, it's an upside down AK. Never mind. PKM.
Bump stocks. What about bump stocks, Bart? I hadn't heard anything.
Oh.
No, you haven't? That's because they delete all those threads from the Donald because they're not crazy.
You're right, though.
I know.
I'm going to get a pair of bump chucks.
You should see what they say on Discord, though. They don't. They let that go on Discord.
In the Donald Discord?
Uh-huh.
I've seen
a
it.
bunch of people bitching about it.
I've seen it spun a couple of ways. At this point, though, just looking at it baseline, he's done more than Obama to ban gun shit.
Technically, your gun rights under Obama expanded.
Yeah.
So did
because he wasn't a Republican.
See, I think I don't know. I can't say
7 and 6 got banned. Right?
By the ATF because they found some obscure pistol that shot it.
And didn't something else get cut off? Did the Russian stuff get cut off?
Yeah, from the invasion of Ukraine, which they cut everything off.
And there was something else I thought. But the truth is, nobody passes gun control like Republicans.
Yeah.
Nobody passes gun control like this. Nobody. Not China, not Hillary,
the best gun control.
Nobody.
Huge, tremendous gun control.
Now, see,
we're gonna have the best gun control. You're gonna get tired of all the gun control.
And the American people are gonna pay for it.
Mike Bloomberg is gonna pay for all of it.
Some people might think that I'm giving Trump a little bit too much credit, but there could be a possibility that he's going into this with the intent that the courts are going to rule that kind of control or that kind of action via executive order unconstitutional.
So
the only hope we have there is that there's a case in front of the Supreme Court did agree to hear a case that's challenging Chevron, right?
So and I mean. Omni says, please mention this, but Omni is of the opinion that the Supreme Court will side with the ATF.
What? Come on.
I doubt that they will.
You can't legally do that.
All the recent 3 appointees to the SCOTUS are all Chevron deference supporters.
We'll see.
He's got a point.
To be shot.
I mean, yeah, they just granted writ to I can't remember the case name. Essentially, it challenges the ATF's authority as a bureau of the government to be wishy-washy with their determinations.
Actually, I don't think it has anything to do with the ATF.
It does. I was reading it on T-Tag of all places. Let me see if I can pull that up really quick.
That is a terrible website. You should be ashamed of yourself.
I mean, it has everything to do with Chevron, which would have impact on the ATF, but I don't think it has anything to do with the ATF.
Well, that's like, man.
Yeah,
I could be wrong though.
No, I don't. I mean, no. Chevron works for all of the agencies that want to fuck with anybody.
Yeah, you can just change your shit as you go.
Bureaus or whatever the fuck they are. I don't know what it defines as.
It's a government not for the people. It's for the corporations anymore.
ATF's under Department of Justice now, so I don't even know if it's a fucking bureau anymore.
It's getting ridiculous.
Is the FBI a bureau anymore?
Federal Bureau of Investigation, at least it's in their name.
Yeah. Federal Bureau of Matters.
Federal Bureau of Compliance.
No, but so yeah, this could be a potential win for everybody except for the taxpayers who are footing the bill for this fucking shit show, and that is that Trump gets his way because he tried really hard to get fucking bump stocks banned. ATF gets their way because they did their fucking rule thing, but then they get overturned by the courts, and the lawyers get a bunch of money, and it all works out in the end. Nobody loses their bump stock, but we paid for the fucking lawsuit, and Adam Kraut probably becomes president of the NRA in the future as a result of it because he filed the lawsuit. But
that was a smart power move there.
Well, he's a good boy.
Yeah,
Adam Kraut is a good boy. He works with that crazy toddler who smiles until you can see his molars on the thumbnails. But yeah,
who the fuck is that?
The fucking Gun Collective on YouTube. They like to do the fucking I'm smiling so big you can see my molars thumbnails because the kids love that shit or something. I make fun of them every time I invent a weird bearded toddler.
Oh yeah, that's right. I do
just
remember that.
is proud that he got his Tupperware Shape-O-Matic done or whatever. Yeah. Anyway, I'm old.
It's gonna get a lot worse before it gets a lot better.
I don't think it's gonna get a lot better. I do think it's gonna get a lot worse.
I don't know.
Well, Pennsylvania, Pittsburgh. I didn't see if they did it or not. They were supposed to introduce 3 resolutions into the city of Pittsburgh to put gun restrictions in place, which is blatantly against state law. And they've been informed that if they do so, they will be sued immediately. But who knows?
Whatever.
It has to
I
be
do what I
challenged
want.
in court.
Yeah, like how is that not a crime to pass a law that blatantly is illegal? Like,
they rigged it that way for themselves. That's how. Not enough have been not enough of them have been shot in a long time. So
yeah, I think we got to fire up the helicopters. Get some commies to throw out the fucking doors.
Good, man. I just
Kaiser v. Wilkie is what they granted writ to, and it is challenging the abdication of power to federal bureaucracy, which includes the ATF. It's not direct, but it does include it.
Right. No, I understand.
Yeah.
Cool. I mean, you got to destroy them in the 90 days as of Friday, unless.
The awesome thing is if that goes through and shit changes and Chevron goes away, that means that shit's going to work a lot slower in government, which is awesome.
Yes.
Except for your Form 1s and Form 4s.
That part's not going to change.
So let me throw this out there. I actually have a customer of mine. He bought a lower from me, and he said, I want to build an SBR. Can you help me out? Yeah, sure. Here's your complete lower. File a Form 1, and let me see. He just emailed me. His Form 1 went in on December 9th, and it was approved December 18th. So
not a trust.
It was on a trust, and he did it electronically, and he like 95% of my customers is intelligent enough to get all his paperwork done and correct on the first pass. So he's like, yeah, it's like, it was like, just file the Form 1, and while you're waiting for your Form 1 to get back, start doing some shopping, figure out what kind of upper you want. And before he could decide what upper he wanted, his form came back. So, I mean, ATF is, dare I say this, they're doing a pretty good job in that regard. So I think that they're not really deserved. Hold
on. In that they're doing nothing and just shitting it over to the FBI, and they're doing their job at the same speed they always do.
What I don't understand is how come a background check for a Form 1 is so much faster than a Form 4? That part I don't get.
The background check is no faster or no slower. It's it doesn't sit in a fucking file box on the floor, while an index card that gets put between those file boxes moves around the room until they open the file box and then do something with it.
And I mean, it's like, if you do want a background check, what's the problem with me picking up the phone and calling it in and just being done with it? But
if we had any brains at all, we would petition the government to create a system where we could voluntarily submit ourselves for a background check and get a card that says we're good to buy NFA shit for like 2 years.
No, but
they have
commit a crime though. Yeah, but you might commit a crime. You have to be checked every time.
What
if
I would
commit a crime, they can revoke that fucking card.
What I would actually approve of is if they just extended the same privileges to CNR holders.
Which privileges are those?
Getting like, all your stuff pretty much right away without a background check because you're already a licensee.
Oh yeah, well,
that's just like when I go buy guns here, I don't have to do the NICS check because our carry license.
Right. Yeah, you're in an exempt state.
That's like I went and picked up 2 guns from the FFL, and the guys weren't even there. I just filled out the 4473 and left the guns.
There are so many better ways to handle it than what our government's doing right now, honestly. That doesn't involve eroding our rights if we want to actually do something about gun violence in the country.
But that involves giving money to poor people, and our government doesn't want to do that.
You speak as if you've been impacted negatively at some point by this process.
Yeah.
I just think that
if the government ever actually solves a problem, that puts them out of work because their job is to appear to be trying to solve a problem so that they can get campaign funds and get votes.
Yeah, that's true.
Actually solving problems makes them go away and people get happy. And
it's like pharmaceutical companies. They don't want to cure you. They want to treat you.
See, that's the thing. If you want to
maybe cure you at a
make sure that people have a background check or are certified to own firearms. I mean, one of the best ways that you can decrease that violence, I think, in my opinion, is by educating people on how to safely and properly use them, store them, all that other stuff. And since it's a right, why not have it be funded by taxpayer money? Have your local law enforcement office provide classes on how to use.
It's not even local law enforcement. It could just be like school taught.
It
used to be school taught.
Yeah,
I mean, we used to have archery classes.
Have a rifle team.
Yeah, we have trap teams here at our school, in
my school, ROTC had a rifle team.
Yeah, I mean that's the thing though. I mean, like you're looking at pretty high end schools that mostly today and even back then. I mean, I don't know. I feel like it's mainly there to keep the poors and the.
Oh, absolutely.
That's other groups from
Saturday night special legislation. Anyone?
No.
Yeah.
I got my Jennings ready to go.
Although in hindsight, it probably protected a lot of lives just because those are huge fucking piles of shit guns. But right?
I just found this. I couldn't find this for a while. This is y'all have probably seen Zenitco stuff.
Oh, that's fancy.
This is a B13V. They don't make these anymore, and they only made a very few of them. These are made for the Bizons and the Vityazes.
Huh.
That's cool.
So they made it for a gun that wasn't even imported?
One time I got an email from Russian Surplus, and they were giving me 10% off, so I went looking, and they had this thing. It's supposedly...
I just bought one of those off of for my Bizon once it gets built. I bought one of those off of a guy on AK Files for like $175, and it's an original STK BR.
Yeah,
those are good stocks. They've got great cheek weld, honestly.
Yeah,
I wanna put
sarcasm.
No, it's actually pretty good for optics use.
It's right up there. Yeah, it's not dropped at all.
Is that perfect for the Pac-9?
This was intended for the AK-105 kit. If I ever decide to actually go through with that, I'm still waffling on that. Yeah.
Just make sure you use a 5.5 millimeter trunnion because that's what that's made for.
What I want to do is, it's a real AK-105 kit. I want to convert my Norinco transferable gun into an AK-105. But I'm waffling on caliber, and I also can't find somebody who I really want to do it yet. But.
You send it
5.5. It said 5.45. There should be no question.
I don't have a lot of that ammo, and the ammo that's available now is shitty commercial ammo that's underloaded. And I don't know.
That fucking Red Army standard stuff, that Farm and Fleet that we bought out is pretty decent stuff.
That's specifically one of the underloaded ones that I haven't tried any yet because I haven't even unpacked it yet. The fucking shipping travesty.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And the box with the boxes all just strewn inside the box.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We packed it for you.
No, that was my picture you used to send to him, wasn't it?
I don't know. It was hilarious. But yeah, so yeah, I don't know what caliber to do it in or whatever. Yeah.
300 blackout.
I also got this rare experimental polymer coated top cover too, and I don't know what the deal is with that, but that was.
I think they wound up using something like that for the Saga 12s.
Yeah,
I've got one of those. I don't think it has a polymer cover on it. Let me go look.
Yeah, mine doesn't. This is
I know it doesn't.
Standard AK pattern. But yeah, esoteric Russian crazy shit is fun.
Yeah, believe me, I know.
Just regular metal. I should bring my fucking wireless headset down here. So, are you gonna destroy your bump stock in the next 90 days?
Bump stock. I'm sorry, sir. I don't think I own any bump stocks. You must be mistaking me for someone else.
Did you delete that post then?
Which post? The post with the machine gun?
Yeah, that one.
I lost my finger in a boating accident.
I very
That's
much.
it. We could file an American with Disabilities claim against them.
The most fucked up thing about this whole thing is that, and I had to analyze it. I didn't come to this realization myself until last night when I was arguing on Reddit with somebody in legal advice. The what did I say?
I remember that thread, but I haven't been in it for a while.
Oh yeah, so I quoted a guy. So this guy is explaining how bump stocks works. Whereas bump stocks lack such automatized features and instead rely on the user's own strength to counteract recoil and return the trigger to their finger, essentially using their supporting arm to actuate the trigger. My comment was funny. Manually activating the trigger is exactly how you fire a normal semi-automatic too, which is like quintessentially boils down the whole fucking argument to this is complete fucking bullshit.
Yeah.
Did he recognize your superior intellect and knowledge on the subject?
Let's see.
And retreat in his earnest opinion.
There were a lot of comments removed from that thread last time I checked it.
Yeah.
They left all of ours, but all the other ones were removed for being off topic or
I was
abusive.
civil. They require civility there. No, nobody responded, and I got 15 up votes.
I am going to deconstruct
which is
it for you guys.
More up votes than the other guy. Oh, good.
What?
I want to see the helix.
Guys. Yeah. This is the fun part.
Huge spring.
Wait, were you
Can I put you on present to everyone?
Yeah,
there we go. Excellent.
Where's the part where you get joke punched?
Rub screws that are incredibly tiny.
Oh, wow.
And specialized looking.
They hold the end plate?
Yeah, and then you have these flatheads that hold the rear one in.
Gotcha. So is it under any tension?
It's under tension from the spring. I'll show it. It looks like a garage door spring.
You wind it? Do you have to wind it up? Is that how it works?
Yeah. Yeah, that's one of the reasons why the Russians in the field had so many issues with these magazines. When they took them apart for field maintenance and they put them back together, they wouldn't wind it to the right the right tension.
Not enough pre-tension on the spring. Yeah.
Exactly.
Oh, I see. And it doesn't shit out the cartridges properly if you don't do that, I'm assuming.
Well, if you've seen that video on YouTube of the guy who has the one that it gets rid of all those cartridges, he has a demilled magazine, so the feed lips are actually shorn off, which is why that happened.
Ooh, but aluminum, so a TIG welder with talent and a guy with a file could fix that.
Yeah. So I have the rear end off. They're not going to fall off, but the spring is held in place with a dowel pin there.
Huh.
So that's going to be the next thing that I push out really quick.
So the spring just twists tighter?
Yeah, you twist it from the front end. There we go.
Huh. Uh-oh. Did it hit you in the
junk?
No,
it's fine.
Historically on this show, typically firearms parts hit somebody in the junk. And
yeah, it just sits in this little channel here. This is actually has a ball bearing or a spring-loaded ball bearing to lock these into position.
What does that lock in the position now?
I'll show you.
When you wind it.
When you wind it up, or if you're loading your magazines and you want to keep it at a certain position, it locks. Let me take this out for you first.
Oh, I can see the witness holes in the outside of the, yeah.
Ooh. That looks complicated.
Looks like a swather head.
Oh.
So I'll show you how it works. So on the inside, you can see they have that helix, that elevator.
Yep.
This piece right here, the elevator, the helix there, doesn't actually move. What happens is
The outside.
this outside moves. So I'll show you using the followers there. If I move it down, it just rotates around the elevators, and that's terrible because it looks like they're falling out, but I can keep them in there.
We get the visual.
The outer casing keeps them in place, of course.
Yeah, exactly. So I can actually probably rotate. I can actually rotate this way, and they'll move down.
Like a magic.
Exactly. So, front cap.
Now, what actually pushes the shell up to the feed lips?
The follower.
The ones, it's nut to butt all the way through until those last two fake rounds push.
Yeah.
The last
That's why they're linked, actually, so that this one follower doesn't get ejected out like a shell.
Oh, okay. I got you.
There's a little S-shaped spring that holds them there. There we go.
Same as a beta mag, but far fewer, dumber cartridges.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly. They're kind of shaped a little strangely. So the reason that they're shaped like this is because of that slanted shape of the elevator.
Yeah.
It's just so that it feeds better. You can kind of see that spring that holds them together there.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, and the back end's chamfered, so the bolt will ride over it.
Yeah. There's the guide cage. You can kind of see that there are those little splines in there.
Yep.
That are raised.
Everything moving up.
Exactly. And then the actual helicoil, the elevator, is screwed into the rear cap with two screws. Only one screw holds it to the cap. One holds this. I really don't know what this is, but it's used to feed the cartridges up to where the feed lips are. And that's
like the feed ramp, almost.
Sort of. I'm trying to think of a better term for it, but no, it's not coming to me.
Is it like orient them the right way?
No.
I'd say the lips probably do that because the lips are parallel with the.
Let me grab the
come in.
Well, no, but it's gotta turn the longitudinal motion into
a
radial motion.
It pushes it up vertically. It stays. Remember, I said that this elevator, is static. It doesn't move. It's the blinds. So on this part right here, you can see it's ramped a little bit.
So it is like a feed ramp, just not a front to back feed ramp, more like a side feed ramp.
Yeah. And then this is one of the cool things about the metal ones is that the feed lips are removable. So multi-caliber maybe.
Okay.
What they held on there with? Just screws or?
Just tension.
Yeah.
So all I'm gonna do is just put a screwdriver through there and pull up to pop it out, and it just slides right out of there.
Huh.
The channel there.
Tight slip fit and
cool.
held in place by the cap. Yeah.
Yep.
That's a cool design.
Simple Russians.
Is the outer tube must be a casting?
It's machined.
Is it? Yeah, but
yeah, there are no marks for casting on there. You can actually see some machining marks.
Yeah.
Kind of right here especially.
Probably
interesting.
So is it just a simple tube with those the feed part brazed on, or not brazed on, but welded onto there?
The feed part, I actually think that because it's machined, that doesn't look like
part
it's
brazed. Yeah, it looks like it's part of the. They use like a oversized.
Holy fuck, that's a lot of aluminum to take off, though.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I have to assume. Well, maybe. I mean, like if they were doing it,
they have to lay it down to a certain point and then use like a a mill to get the rest of it off.
Unless the material requirements are so stringent that it has to be super hard or whatever for not getting dented or whatever. That should be a casting that's been finish machined to so those ears are already present and don't need much work, but maybe they trim the outer tube so it's uniform and pretty or whatever. But
is casting aluminum that easy though, or is that steel? I thought it was aluminum.
Aluminum, yeah. Casting aluminum was really easy. Aluminum's not even red hot when it melts.
It's a hell of a lot easier than machining 2 inches off the circumference of a.
Yeah, and you can make an internal core out of sand or something to make the overall size so it's not solid in the center and all that stuff, and then you just machine it out. But it could also be die cast. I don't know. But,
die cast,
but meaning metal dies and the casting. But anyway,
extruded.
It is kind of different for the Russians to externally machine something that's been casted, because they usually don't give a shit about how it looks on the outside. So it might be billet. Because like this stock I have here, the trunnion part is a casting, and it's actually pretty rough. And it's welded to the arms on the thing. And anyway, I don't know.
Hope that was fun for you guys. And now I get to put it back together.
Very fun. I've kind of been curious about that shit for a long time. I've wanted those parts, but not been willing to buy them because, yeah.
Oh, I forgot to show you all the springs. So both ends actually look like this. It's pretty much just a garage door spring, like I said.
And it just winds tighter and tighter and works by torsion instead of
counterclockwise.
I was actually going to say that looks exactly like my garage door spring. You got that right on the money.
Yep.
Baby, I know it.
And then so
Bender quote. Nice.
Do you have the specifications for reproducing the springs then too?
I'm working on that. I don't have the springs yet, actually.
So I was gonna say that's probably because since they are the torsional type like that, getting someone to be able to make those is probably a little bit more difficult, I would imagine.
Get Wolf on the phone.
Oh yeah, I bet you call Wolf up to make them up for you, no problem.
Hey man, I got a fun project for you. I did all the thinking already. All you got to do is, spring it out.
That might work. We'll see.
All the hard work's done. You just gotta make it.
Yeah, I say all the other ones are usually driven by a flat.
Yeah, like clockwork springs, coil springs.
Yeah, in the end, not the transverse like that.
Yeah.
But you can store a lot more torque in the transverse.
Ooh, new model. Coil spring, clockwork in the end, and double feed all the way up.
Double capacity, yeah.
The helix, yeah. Boom.
I'll figure it out one way or another. Nothing stopped me so far.
Like MasterCard probably has a spring that'll work.
Yeah, it's probably like some fucking, like you said, like storm door spring, That's
kind of what it does look like, because those, are
yeah, exactly, with the thing.
Yes, exactly. I knew you'd get that.
the hide your cargo flap from the back of a Volkswagen or a fucking Mercedes or whatever hatchback would work fine. Yeah, seriously, you should look at that. It might be that it does. That'd be a torsion spring. Blinds and flappy shit like that.
Flappy shit.
That's funny. Yeah, inside a fucking blind tube. Yeah.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. My brother's in the blind business.
See if there's any non-stupid comments in the thread. Nope.
Can you see his future in that?
What the hell's BSG?
BSG?
Yeah, it's something from the show thread. Has anybody checking the YouTube live comments? Usually there's something in there. I usually have it open, but I'm on my Wi-Fi downstairs. I don't like to run two windows.
Bushwookie says FC is El Dumb. That sounds a lot like Spencer Carving, but a little better. I don't know what that refers to. Russians literally copied an American bomber for one. Oh, that's Matthias Vertanen. I don't think they give much of a shit about helical mags. Yeah, that's true. Oh, speaking about the Calico copy, the Calico lawsuit. Yeah. Okay, we aren't in your fucking jurisdiction. What now, capitalist?
Oh, the Norks love their helical mags. Top pulling stocks for some reason. That's got me feeling some kind of way. Yeah.
I mean, you can definitely do it. It's just with modern drums and the size that, or the fact that a rifle is a fucking monster thing to try and conceal already. It's really not that feasible.
Yeah. I mean, you're not going to be concealing that stuff. So, yeah.
Yeah.
Not with that attitude.
BSG equals Battle State Games, the dudes that are doing Escape from Tarkov. Spikes got upset with them for using their Dynacomp by name in the game and are on Twitter wondering if they should meme BSG, like what PSA does.
Jesus.
Per Semper.
I mean, it's kind of free advertising. I don't know why Spikes would be bitching about that.
Yeah.
Yeah, that is kind of backwards. Like,
Yeah.
No, Michael Bay, we do not want our product in your fucking shit show of a movie.
We have our standards, sir.
But the product placement, I mean, you can't put a price on that.
No, you can't.
Isn't Michael Bay doing Bad Boys 3?
I don't really give a shit what Michael Bay's doing. He's a fucking shitbird.
Battle State Games is filled with all name brand things.
Pearl Harbor sucks, and I miss you.
Looking at it? That was a shitty movie.
That?
Oh, I thought you were talking about a Michael Bay movie.
Yeah, Pearl Harbor.
Yeah.
That's one of them.
It's terrible. There's no plot to that thing at all. It was just explosions.
I want to see that.
Oh, well, there you've just summed up Michael Bay in a nutshell. Have you ever seen Michael Bay bird crash? Hang on.
Transformers movies?
I want to see the mule.
Looks interesting.
Clint Eastwood.
Yep.
Before he dies.
Yes.
Yeah, that's this is totally tangentially related, but there was the cops here in my state pulled over an old guy and a farmer. He had a shitload of cash on him, and they confiscated all of it. But he was going to a farm sale. We have to buy everything with cash, and they like confiscated. I think it's like $60,000 in cash from him because they thought he was a drug
suckers. Fuck them.
Yeah, that's fucking
scumbags.
No, they held a trial. They said hey, $60,000 in cash. Are you guilty or not? And it pled guilty. So we kept it.
Yeah.
That's a good way to get your police station burnt down by some pissed off farmer.
Oh, yeah, that's how you get killdozers. you want killdozers? Because that's how you get fucking killdozers.
You get that, or you get guys like that one that had the manure, who spread all the manure over the side of that building.
Yeah.
Yeah,
that fucking 4-story combine run over your building.
We have these things called manure spreaders, and so you probably didn't know they existed, but now you do. I just linked to a Michael Bay GIF in the chat for this hangout.
My internet keeps taking a shit on me here. Hopefully it's not affecting the
Probably because it's broadcasting your mug to us.
No, it's probably because both my kids are upstairs on their iPads fucking around.
Yeah. No.
They're playing Fortnite. They're up there dancing away.
Oh, no. He had to be downstairs to do that.
I don't know any of the Fortnite dances.
You know the Carlton dance. You know the Fortnite dances.
I don't
really.
You sued them over it.
He did.
Oh, the grab your leg and sprinkler in a circle one. Or?
No, the fuck. I can't
Yeah. No, I know that one.
Carlton dance.
I've actually watched
Fresh Prince.
I watched Muzog play Fortnite for a while, and
Alfonso Ribeiro is very talented. He does a good job with that.
What's he done lately?
Your mom?
Oh.
No.
Did he do
My mom has a strict no scrubs policy.
It is just like playing the video game.
There was some post on Reddit recently about where he did like Dancing with the Stars, and it was a big thing because he did the fucking Carlton.
Classic Carlton. Yeah, so blinds do have torsion springs like that.
There you go. Hook Feisty Crawfish up with your brother.
Awning blind. My brother's just about as lazy as me. So, other than he actually gets up and cleans blinds for a living. So
just about. have you filed that form?
But he's a one man show, so he just does exactly how much he needs to get the fucking bills paid, and that's about it. Not interested in growth.
Well, there's nothing wrong with that. He's got a lifestyle business.
Absolutely, yeah.
Hopefully, he's saving it up for retirement.
I assume so. I don't know. He lives in Canada, so I assume that's taken care of because they're
Canada. Have you filed the form for that 180 yet or not?
No.
Oh
Stop bugging me. You bug me every month about that.
No shit.
I bug you every month.
Shit. Oh my god. Can I just
you know what? We won't bug you for another year. We won't bug you until 2019.
I just want to be the ultimate NFA casual. Leave me alone. Whatever. I'll get around to getting my machine gun when I want to. God damn it.
Whatever. I do what I want.
One does not simply rush out and get their machine guns.
Or their pistol. Or their other gun.
Did you not pick up that pistol yet either? Because I'll fucking take that one. That new order one.
Yeah. I should have sent it to you, Bart. You would have appreciated it.
Yeah.
I appreciate
you got
the fact that
you
it's
got
rare.
integrity.
I assume
it
it hasn't
showed up.
sold off yet. Might have been. Don't know.
Ooh.
Did you ever get the assault rifle, Bert?
The
Bushmaster. Yeah.
no. There's another one on Gunbroker though, but I bought some other stuff recently, so I might not get that. So
I hate when that happens.
yeah. Jonesy keeps plying us the cheap deals and stuff. So
yeah, I noticed. I don't get any fucking notifications. I don't get any text messages or.
you're on the. You got to be on the Discord.
I'm on Discord. I see notifications come up. I don't get any of them. Next time he wants to sell me something, I'm gonna be like, yeah, Where's the fucking blems for Fluffy? Huh? Yeah.
I think he might have one left because I think Omni turned down
pick it up his ass.
Maybe it's because he is prejudiced against your Western Pennsylvania roots.
Maybe. I think he's trying to instigate class warfare. You know, he's got us rednecks out in the sticks trying to keep us down. You know,
or maybe he understands you can pay full price for it, and the rest of us can't.
Yeah, I know, right? Yeah. Oh, he doesn't need to save a buck. He likes paying full price.
He's one of those people who's happy he paid too much.
Brag about it that way.
I never pay too much. I just pay the price, the future price ahead of time.
Yeah.
I never pay full price.
I try not to.
Ever.
How much of a discount did you get on your HMG stuff?
Me? Yeah. Whatever discount they were offering at the time.
Which is 0%.
Oh, it was actually like 10%, I think. But.
The pre-order.
No, the pre-order was flat because that's pre-order. But
right.
all the vaporware accessories I bought on sale. So
God, the accessories, they don't have
Vapor and
if you're gonna
vaporware accessories.
No, I'm into them for $2,800.
Ooh.
Got a caliber conversion kit, several magazines, but I got them on sale. So
it doesn't sound like you got anything.
We did get them on sale.
I am shrewd like a fox, or smart like a potato, or something. Yeah.
Why do you like the Fox?
The Spring store has a coil torsion spring calculator.
Nice.
It's called the coil torsion spring. Oh no, maybe not. These all have the goofy ends on them. Maybe that calculator won't be good for you. The images all look different than your spring. They all have legs on them, like it's gonna open the ejection port on an AR or something.
Oh.
Wow, there's a lot of deleted stuff in this thread. What happened?
Mm-hmm.
Which thread?
That's weird.
Oh yeah, so legal advice for so
If you're not giving good advice, they fucking delete your comments.
Here's
there's a lot of shitheads in that comment and threads.
Why they started that mega thread, I don't know, because literally the only people when I got into it initially were obviously lawyers, because they understood what they were talking about far better than I did. But I participated regardless without being too blunt, and I
was straight up. I didn't use anything. I'm like, this is what we see, and it was all opinion. None of my comments got removed. But they also sent us a mod mail earlier asking, what are you guys doing about this? And I'm like, well, here's our thread. It's mostly poo flinging and Trump bashing. And he's like, yeah, we looked at that. And that's kind
there's
of
a little semen flinging too, Look, like the monkeys at the zoo. Yeah, we saw that. So we did our own. Thanks.
We'll help you out a little bit, but whatever.
Well, it's in mod mail, so that means I'm invited to jump on in and start flinging poo.
You guys and your poo flinging.
It's pretty easy lately.
Oh yeah. Okay. Yeah. A little late, buddy.
What? Wait, what?
I got a text from Jonesy.
Oh.
Because he's probably watching the show. He just figured it out 2 minutes ago. Oh, fuck. I bet you Fluffy likes some of this shit.
There's a fellow named Jonesy in the text. In the chat.
Our resident second resident. Yeah.
Somebody on Facebook asked me if I got a text from Jonesy, and I'm like, does he mean Messenger? Because that guy don't got my number. But I ain't got a job anyway, so I ain't BRN.
Now it's Tuna's fault. It's Tuna's fault that he got
distracted.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Tuna's angling for getting the gun that Forgotten Weapons got. Because he even looked up the serial number from the videos to make sure it matched before.
Oh no, sir.
Yeah.
What? Which gun?
That's creepy.
Yeah. BRN-10.
Oh, these are we loaned them out to people to trump them up thing.
Yep, and that's why they got returned and they were discounted.
I sent Ian an email last week going, "Hey, what's going on with HMG?" And he's like, "I don't know. I haven't heard anything from those guys. I don't believe anything they say. We'll see what happens."
Well, their website's still up. I ain't tried calling them yet, but
yeah, I'm sure if you call him, don't get Mac, because he still thinks the project's going on. So you gotta talk to somebody else. I can't believe you posted that to their Facebook. That's fucking awesome.
We've got
he posted the link, not the fan fiction.
No, I posted a link to your comment though in that, that sub.
Cool. That's good. Yeah, same thing.
I
don't know if they know how the Reddits work. They might not be able to
I'm confident.
Considering we took over their sub, they don't.
Did you put a bunch of hashtags on it?
No, I didn't.
Without the hashtags, probably.
I'm confident they're all heads down trying to get this thing over the finish line. They'll emerge shortly, and we'll all be surprised that we're going to get our STGs.
Oh, won't we be eating crow? Yeah.
It's all going according to plan. I told him straight to his face, this is my plan. I want you to toss me my rifle.
Did you post it in community? Is that what you put it in?
What? I put the link in Telegram just now.
Oh, okay.
I
just
posted
wanna see
over in Discord, but I don't want to dox myself that.
Yeah.
Is the HMG video we did a long time ago present on YouTube currently? I would love to look back and watch it again.
That was before I was on the show.
Because I believe I told him I want another Brent 10 out of you guys. I can't prove it, but holy shit.
Ah. Is that Reddit post BS? I know you ain't supposed to believe interweb BS, but saying the man is dead is something else. It doesn't say he's dead.
Who's dead?
No.
It says he had a mental breakdown.
What? HMG? Oh, Mac?
Yeah.
No, he's not dead. No, he's very much alive. He's just confined. And in his own reality.
No.
Oh, Norwegian Steam made a comment that said, stop, he's already dead. So the guy thinks he's dead now.
What you guys need to do is just like straight up Wade Boggs from Always Sunny. Hey, Mac, God rest his soul. And then someone needs to chime in. Mac is very much alive.
Press F to pay respects to Mac Style. I recently learned what press F means, and because the COD thing, and so now I've got to say it a lot. Looking for Fs in the YouTube chat. Not seeing any. I'll start.
Press G for grapefruit.
Have we posted any Tom Petty or any Richard Marks to their Facebook page recently?
No, somebody else did though. They posted something. Take the money and run, I think.
I'm gonna hashtag that now.
Come on, take the money and run. Well, with Mac, it'd be more take the money and walk away. You know.
Wait, who is that? Is that Boz Skaggs? Take the money and run?
No. That was Steve Miller Band. Steve
Miller Band, same thing. Boz Skaggs, Steve Miller. It all blurs together in my 1970s brain.
Boz Skaggs and Steve Miller don't sound anything alike.
No, but they were on the same Sony cassette deck back in 1973 or 4 or whatever.
Those are 8 tracks, were they not?
No, we had cassettes. We had 8 tracks out in the farm equipment. We had cassettes in the house because that was the new shit.
So you see, I'm way too young for.
Yeah. This fella don't even know what a tape is.
Hey, check this out, guys.
25, right? So you're like 12 years younger than me.
I'm on the HMG Facebook page, and there's a guy basically saying, if you don't have my STGN in my hands by a month from now, or January 16th, or have evidence that you're actually shipping, I want my money back. I will accept no more excuses, videos, or cute hashtags. Merry Christmas.
I sent them a "Where's my rifle" email a couple weeks ago, and they didn't answer.
These people are mad.
Well,
I'm not. Shit's all going perfectly according to plan. It's another Bren 10 situation we got going on here, kids.
Except there's no fucking no rifles to ship out. They've never shown more than those 5 ones they used to.
I think they might buck up and get 1,500 of them out the door before they collapse. It'll be great.
I seriously think they're gonna go bankrupt before that.
Without magazines, it'll be awesome.
Dornhouse and Dixon, baby.
Boom.
Did what's his name ever come back to Brent and say how much he paid for that Brent 10 or not? Because he said he was like $600.
He said it was 6 high points.
Yeah,
I believe it. He's a legitimate poster.
I've met the guy. He's fine.
Yeah.
He let me shoot his Barrett. He's a good boy.
Huh.
Yep.
Yeah, and he owns a damn good muffler shop, although he's bad at filing Form 3s or 4s.
I know a guy like that.
Hey, look at that. Mirror much?
So, do you have a chance to look at that thing I got you?
I kind of don't want none unless you got buns on.
I just see your lower shirt button right now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Did you take a look at it or no?
I did. I looked at it. I even assured them that I would do it. I just haven't started doing it yet. That's all.
Come on, man. You got to get up to speed. I'm going to need you in like 6 months.
Are you?
Yeah.
All right. I'll be up to speed by the time you need me then.
All right.
And no sooner. He said I got 6 months.
So 5 months, 3 weeks, 4 days,
no, I don't think it's gonna
24
work
hours
like
from
that.
now, he's going to start looking at that shit.
Set up a calendar item. Boom.
I'll get you hooked up with my son. You can get on the same schedule.
Just in time.
Just in time. Fuck. Ugh.
Sit down so we can see your mug.
Yeah. I've been sitting all day.
Oh, all right. Well,
I kind of want to stand a little bit.
did you forget your donut?
No.
For your butt.
No, I just been sitting all day.
Oh, all right.
I want to sit no more.
Okay.
You know.
Yeah.
All right. I think I figured out what the problem was with this.
Was it you?
Yeah, with this magazine.
User.
The problem with that thing is we haven't tried real communism yet.
Well,
Yeah, I feel like one day this will be used again.
it's not 10 millimeter.
No,
Best centimeter.
I think that the tolerance on this cutout for the feed lips is a little too much. So the sliding forward, it was binding up some of the rounds that were feeding up earlier. Because the first time that I got it, it was seated all the way to the rear, and I put in 53 rounds and was able to shed them all pretty easily.
The problem with esoteric, crazy shit, machine guns included, is that you got to know somebody who knows something about it if you want to learn anything about it, unless you're willing to learn it yourself. And
yeah,
come take your solar thunder part for me. Oh, okay.
Fluffy, you weren't there, but I took my PPSH to the last Big Sandy, and I was hanging out with Mickey, and Mickey's like, "Hey, here's how you tune your drums. You got to have the rounds so that they present themselves flat when they reach the feed lips." And I'm like, eye opener. I didn't know that. I was trying to angle them up so they get in the barrel easier. So yeah, it turns out when you follow Mickey's advice, you get a PPSH that works better than it did before. But like, you know, like we didn't have that discussion because I didn't bring the gun because it didn't work very well, like all those times, right? And then I finally did bring it and learned a shitload about it, like right then and there.
And that information's dying off, man.
Oh yeah, I mean, there's certainly like how to work a PPSH. You know, it's not on the fucking Barnes and Noble counter or whatever. So
that's the fate
or
of
the internet
stuff,
for that
right?
matter.
Is it gets obsolete at some point and it's not usable anymore because nobody can fix it or work it.
Well, I have the poster about it in my shop, but it's in Cyrillic and I can't fucking read that shit. So
Google Translate, right?
yeah, right. Yeah.
I can
You know
read.
what?
Russian.
I think you have some free time on your hands. You should teach yourself Cyrillic. Yeah.
With me, I can translate it for you.
I'm good. They're all learning English, so it doesn't matter.
All the Chinese are.
Yeah, well, everybody is.
Why are you standing? I don't.
Because I fucking sat all day. I want to stand.
Oh,
He's got roids and he's not willing to.
No,
admit
I don't have roids.
You didn't
I'll
have
show
to
you
show
my
him.
ass if you want to see it. I can.
no.
All right, let's have a look. I'm a qualified.
This is like that Family Guide episode with Sipowicz. Show you my ass.
I'm a qualified astronaut. Let me see it.
Space shuttle door gunner, are you?
Mm-hmm.
Nice.
Hashtag Space Force.
Yeah.
I'm looking forward to signing up.
What's that?
I said I'm looking forward to signing up for the Space Force.
You look like you'd be a poster boy for the Space Force.
I'm doing my part. Citizen Service guarantees citizenship.
Hey, that would be a good form of government.
Yes, it would.
I learned mine.
Well, we're not talking about the movie. We're talking about the book, which is better than the movie by a long shot.
Yeah. Yeah, they couldn't have like Terminators launching nukes as soldiers in the movie.
There wasn't even any powered body armor. The whole book was
Yeah.
about powered body armor.
Yeah. It was like Warhammer. It was like Warhammer in a book.
I got into a discussion with somebody the other day, and they're like, "So basically, you think it's okay if private citizens own nuclear weapons?" And I'm like,
"Fuck yeah!"
I'm like, "Yeah, I mean, I guess so. I'd like one of those little Davy Crockett things. Those would be kind of cool. But
Yeah.
I don't know where I'd shoot it. You know."
Here's the thing: if Israel can't fucking make their own, or Iran can't make their own, I ain't worried about my neighbor making his own, because it's fucking. You gotta have a team of scientists. And
Did you ever look up the Nuclear Boy Scout though?
And some stolen Germans to get shit done.
The Nuclear Boy Scout was pretty close.
Yeah.
The Nuclear Regulatory Commission just fucking went and talked to Cody Don Reader, Cody's lab on YouTube the other day about it took his fucking centrifuge away because he was talking about thorium and stuff, and they're like, no, you can't
You're not allowed to enrich uranium, sir.
So I'm
he has a gas centrifuge.
No, he has a regular centrifuge, but they took it anyway because yeah. That's what happens when the fucking federal government knocks on your door and you're doing chemistry experiments on YouTube. Is if you're fucking around with uranium ore, you make like.
You think that you think they understand the difference between like a regular spinny centrifuge and a gas centrifuge? That's like.
Hey man,
I mean they're basically the same. Bart.
Yeah, basically. That's like saying a Ford 351 Cleveland is the same as a Saturn V rocket engine.
They may actually know more than him though, because on his last video he said that plaster dries. So we all know plaster doesn't dry; it sets, and the water becomes part of the mixture, just like concrete. It's the same fucking thing. Anyway, no, yeah. So he, I'm on his Patreon thing, and the video that explained it was from September 22nd, and I will link you guys to it later. I can't link it to everybody because it wasn't public, but yeah. But yeah, Nuclear Regulatory Commission showed up. Like that is amazing. I would love for those guys to roll up at my house for some fucking reason.
Do they show up with their with those the 607s?
Geiger counters.
He's got video. He's got video of a guy with a Geiger counter fucking roaming around his shit. Like he's a fucking mineral. Like seriously, periodic table and elements collector. Yeah, he's awesome. He's my spirit animal. Like,
but if they come to your house like that, you'd have to show up. You'd have to hit the front door in like a bunny suit, right? Like, hey, can I help you, sir?
Gas mask on.
Ain't no party like a furry party. Come on in. Or different bunnies. Oh, you're talking about a Tyvek bunny suit. Yeah, oh, my bad. Oh, yeah.
Nothing bad happening when you show up in the bunny suit. Oh, you'd like to come in, would you?
Yeah, you have to go to the shower and. Wait, why would that be coming in though? This is the going out part of the yeah.
Here we go down the rabbit hole.
Mm-hmm.
Rabbit hole. I see what you did there.
He's awesome. That kid is awesome. He's going places.
Yeah,
padded walls.
He's just more curious about chemistry than everybody else. That's all.
Yeah.
Oh man. Whew. 6 days. 6 days.
Oh, jeebus.
Using the non-nicotine. 6 days.
Oh wait.
I haven't punched anybody in the face. I call that a personal victory.
5 days. 5 days.
5 days of what? What's that?
Nicotine lozengers.
Ooh.
Oh, well, good.
And then Friday, I'm going to smoke cigarettes. It's going to be awesome.
Are you going to watch Captain Kangaroo too?
Oh,
yep. I've been watching Captain Kangaroo for months now. It's
watching Captain Kangaroo.
Now don't tell me there's nothing to do.
I've got nothing to. No, I by choice have nothing to do. It's awesome. Nobody else pressed F to pay respects. Fuck. Do we have nobody's how many's watching? 16 watching now. It says still. Refreshing.
They almost all fell asleep.
Apparently the meme is old. Oh well.
All right, it's working.
Yeah, back together.
Always a
Yep,
plus.
finally.
You got to do the McConaughey. All right.
Now you got to get an RP46.
All right.
Now you got to get an RP46 working.
I wish.
Mm-hmm.
I wish I was a little bit taller.
I don't. I wish I was a little bit shorter. But I do wish I was a baller. And if I had a girl, I would call her.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
That is disappointing.
That's an old song. Wish I was a baller. Wish I was a baller.
What's tomorrow? Tomorrow Thursday? Yeah.
Yes,
All day long.
Fuck. This working shit's like.
I know it's terrible.
I know.
I know. Just stop going, bro. It's fine.
Is the commute that's getting you?
You know, the commute's not as terrible as I thought it was going to be.
It's like
I don't know if it's because I'm older and I'm not as
worry about time.
No, quite as angry as I used to be.
I was gonna say if you have enough Slayer, any commute is tolerable.
Yeah. It's so it's not, the commute's not bad. And the guys are great, and it's a target rich environment. I mean, I feel like a smart guy all the time because I keep finding stuff that doesn't work and fixing it. I don't know. I really like it actually. It's just the time. It takes a lot of time out of my day. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That is the biggest challenge with work.
Yeah, it's like 12 hours out of my day. Like,
I don't get
doing
all
other stuff.
I don't get all my fucking time. Why don't? This is bullshit,
man.
I mean, I know they're exchanging currency for my time, but
2011.
I got buckets and ducats. Why do I need more?
Yeah, I'm going 7 years now, not working.
Oh
Start
man,
paying
that's
me,
living the dream.
2 weeks they're going to start
But
paying.
you have to provide goods and services.
Yeah, I have to get the chitlins educated. And
That's a lot of work, man.
Yeah, it's easy when you're an authoritarian, military guy.
My
kids.
This is not
They
a democracy.
Good.
With your kids hit 12 years old, don't tell me how easy it is.
Yeah.
They start talking back and thinking. Fucking idiots.
What are you doing thinking? You're not qualified.
But you said this. That contradicts what you just said. Yeah.
Yeah, they're already starting to do that. I'm like, yeah, I'm the dad. Shut up.
It's not a court of law.
My hypocrisy knows no bounds.
Then my son broke up with his girlfriend of 2 years, and of course I see her tonight at the chorus thing. So I got to go over and be like, "Oh, I heard the bad news."
That's not awkward at all, is it?
No, not awkward at all. Why her parents are standing there shooting daggers through me because my kid broke up with their kid.
Well, but your kid's got a good idea of what's right and whatever. So I mean, like,
yeah, I don't know. I don't put past that he was just trying to save money on Christmas. So we'll see.
No, you just.
Hey, it's
I still like all of you. I don't know what's going on. I like.
Look back and say, listen. I taught my kid no fat chicks, so that's really a you problem.
Ooh, that's probably not the way to go there.
Yeah. Yeah, it's not creepy enough being some old guy coming up to some high school girl. Then it's.
So bump stocks.
Yeah, that conversation really kept on target.
We're really good at that. We don't diverge much at all.
I think yeah. Luckily, I didn't buy several of those.
I have a finger, so I don't need a bump stock.
They never really appealed to me either because
First they came for the bump stocks, but I didn't speak out because I didn't own a bump stock.
So I was bump firing before bump stocks ever existed at the 4th of July annual shoot in the 90s out at Lake Pleasant there before it was developed. And Game and Fish guy comes up behind us. Okay, who's got the full auto? And I'm like, I used my finger. Want me to show you how? And he's like, nah, you're good. Blah, blah, blah. That was before the bottle rocket fight.
So we have 400,000 subscribers. Like, how many people do you think we could get making videos of them bump firing their guns?
Probably a lot.
Could just flood the sub for like a week of people bump firing guns.
Man, can you imagine if we had all those videos lined up and we were like Pink Lab? Remember Pink Lab when it was new?
Hmm?
The porn site that flooded videos past you. They were scrolling from right to left, and you could just like click on one of them. Oh.
I'm married, sir. There's no reason for me to get the porn site.
My bad. I didn't realize your wife watched this show.
I didn't think anyone watched this show.
Anyway, imagine a predetermined scrolling of the videos past the viewport there with you of all these people not using a bump stock and shooting full auto.
Why don't they do cable like that? They should do cable channels like that. Like, why do you have to do the endless pushing of the clicker thing? Why doesn't it just do it for you? Sort of stream.
Because they don't have the UI genius who created Pink Lab.
I
haven't gone to Pink Lab in a while, but I assume it's been subverted and turned into something else.
What the fuck is Pink Lab?
I don't go there, but I just said what it was. It was a porn site where you hit pinklab.com and porn would flood past you from right to left.
All right, I'm going to go for science just to see. Good.
Oh, God. Are you on a VPN?
No.
Oh. You're onion routed 6 ways to Sunday and you're good to go?
No, I just don't fucking care.
I just have to assume that Russian fucking stinkware is going to be delivered to your eye holes.
It looks like it's something not like what you talked about.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, apparently there's a high bandwidth issue there.
Apparently it's video box now.
Oh, well, shit. See, yeah. Whoever started it sold out. It was on Reddit for a while there. It was awesome. Anyway. But yeah, so imagine Pink Lab that you never saw, but there's videos playing and they march right to left and you click on one to see them. But if it was all people bump firing without a bump stock and we sent the URL to somebody in the government and they looked at it, it would be great.
I'd say you could send that like all the bump stock videos you want to Weekend Gunnit, but none of those guys have guns or bump stocks, so you never get any fucking.
Well, they are proficient with the PPSH on one of them, or no, so the P90. Yeah, it's the P90 now. And what's the Battlefield 1 stupid thing that has 200 rounds and you carry it around like you're crazy?
The video game?
The Hell Regal. No. Battlefield 1 was a stupid ass game because it turned up all the experimental bullshit, and that's the front and center. Anyway, I assume the entire thing is humoring me now. So, then the silence.
Oh, I said someone that I posted a video. A common thing people thinking about is the founders didn't think about automatic rifles.
Oh yeah, they didn't think about the internet either.
Yeah, or Yeah.
Or the Gutenberg printing press.
The first, no, they had that. That predates the First Amendment. Only applies to movable type and quill pens. It doesn't apply to the internet. What it actually says is the right of the people to keep and bear arms shall not be infringed. And until
technically, the founding fathers also believed in keeping slaves. So,
but what they wrote. So here's the thing. Yes, they were hypocrites, but what they wrote has always been valid and has always proven itself through time. It just wasn't applied properly, just like laws are not applied properly now. So yes, slaves didn't count, but really, what it says in what they wrote, slaves fucking do count. All people created equal. People are people, not the ones you fucking choose to. Anyway, yes, they were flawed, but
yes.
what they wrote was not flawed, because it does neatly sum up all of the rights we have. We have the right not to be killed by somebody stronger than us, which means we have the inherent right to shoot that motherfucker in the face, even if we're a 90-year-old lady who can't fucking get up.
Especially if we're a 90-year-old lady.
Exactly. We don't have to be an MMA fighter to defend ourselves. We can fucking employ technology to end a threat immediately. That's
we let the
what
tools
the Second
do
Amendment.
the work.
Personal safety.
That's the Second Amendment in a nutshell.
Yep.
And before 1933, we did not have any restrictions at all. 1934, excuse me. In 1933, we had no restrictions at all whatsoever on our fucking right to keep and bear arms. And in 1934, suddenly
white people didn't. White people didn't.
We talked about this already. Technically, we all did. It just wasn't recognized properly.
Right. Well, the Second Amendment also says that the state does not have the exclusive license on the use of violence. Right?
The use of islands or violence?
Violence.
Does it?
The ability to impart violence. Yeah.
But
yeah, because if you don't have a right to own arms, you to bear arms, you can't, like you said, you can't exert your.
Oh, you can employ violence no matter what you have. You can employ violence even if you could just wiggle your little toe. You can scratch the shit out of somebody with your toenail. You couldn't fucking trim because you can't move anything else. I mean, like,
yeah, but not in a reliable way. With a firearm, like you said,
reliability. Yeah, like you can employ violence even if it's not reliable. That's why people send dogs out with bombs on them during fucking wars to, anyway.
Blow up tanks
or whatever. Yeah.
Other people.
Yeah. You can always employ violence no matter what, but you can't employ violence effectively unless you're not restricted in what you can employ violence with.
Yeah. Because the criminals will always have something that's not legal.
Turns out that people don't obey prohibition.
Right. All I'm saying is that there's another aspect of the Second Amendment. You're talking about the ability to defend yourself against others, or not be harmed by others. And all I'm saying is there's the other aspect is the ability to impart violence upon the state itself.
Oh, sure, yeah. But really, what it all boils down to is the right of the people to keep and bear arms shall not be infringed.
Bill of Rights, not Bill of Needs.
That's what somebody asked me one day. They said, "Well, how many tyrannical governments have you had to put down with your firearms?" And
none yet.
Yeah,
zero.
I said zero. That's kind of the point, right? Like,
actually,
it'll never get to that.
We got one that might need fixing in a hurry pretty soon.
Yeah, that's true.
What chance do you have? Well, what chance does fucking Afghanistan have against a series of? So Afghanistan, they had a swimming pool once, and it was a real one, and not a joke either. And now, since Russia invaded and everybody else has been fucking tromping all over his shit, Genghis Khan fucking tromped all over his shit, I believe, and Alexander the Great as well. They've had nothing but fucking strife over a fucking pile of dirt in the middle of nowhere for some fucking reason. And they have been doing goddamn well against everybody for a long time with fucking nothing.
Yeah.
So yeah, maybe you with your fucking high point won't achieve much against your government, but me with my fucking 1919 will give it a good college try for sure.
And your crew served machine guns and your caliber rifles.
Anyway.
Yeah. It is what it is.
Bump stocks are not machine guns.
They are now.
You're pulling the trigger with your left hand instead of your right hand. Like, it's the same fucking thing.
So,
anyway.
what? I don't know. It's just pure speculation. I don't know what Cord is going through, but I mean, do you think it's going to stick or not?
I honestly think it's going to get overturned because Adam Kraut filed a lawsuit.
I almost wonder if it's like, all right, here's what we're going to do. We're going to pass an unconstitutional law, and then we're going to let the courts fix it just so we can tell everybody we fixed an unconstitutional law.
No, we tried really hard to get it passed, but our hands are tied. If you contribute more next time.
Yeah, it's a carrot to get people to the polls, right?
Sounds like it's going to work.
Anything government ever does is a carrot to get people to the polls. When's the last time they solved a problem?
It's all just corporate profits. That's why our government sucks. The swamp is drained to only be filled with people worse.
Ding dong, whores the vacuum. All right, gentlemen, so I'm going to bed. Get up and do that work thing.
Oh, yeah.
So much.
Yeah. We can probably pop over the after show.
And so ended the show. And furthermore, Susan, I wouldn't be the least bit surprised to learn that all four of them habitually smoked marijuana cigarettes.
And took LSD while they fired their MP40s that they got from Germany in 3 weeks.
The fucking post this morning was so retarded. He deleted it fast. I had to go back and fucking find him with his comments and fucking ban him that way instead. What a dumbass.
I heard this pot metal piece of shit from Germany.
You look at that guy's post history. He's like some high school kids, like posting pictures of his face after he got hit in the face with a baseball. So it's fucking.
Yeah, he's like,
man, T-ball is hard.
Yeah.
She kicked him off the dirt and popped me in the eye.